Watch for Randy, if this American team, if they don't outblock the Koreans or it's even, the Koreans will win this match.
The captain of the United States, Scott Fortune. Go to Nak-Gil Ma, and he hit it long. A point for the Americans, and it's even at 1. You don't see Nak-Gil Ma shank a ball like that very often. And Nak-Gil Ma missed again. That was a tough angle.
In the first match we saw, Ma started out slowly in the first game and then caught fire. We'll have to see if the Americans can keep him quiet after the first game.
A couple of hitting errors by Ma. The Americans lead 2-1, and this time they go back to Ma, and he tools it off of Allen.
Certainly showing the player they want to go to. 3 straight sets to Ma. He misses 2 of them. Shin goes back to him, this time off the hands, out of bounds.
They set Fortune. It's still alive, and Fortune just tapped it over. The turnaround spike is long, and some hitting errors by Korea.
Sign up, USA.
2-1 U.S. and Javier Gaspar serves for the second time. At Kong. Oh, that quick set to Yoon. Shin with a perfect set.
Well, 31 set, distant from the setter. That's a technical play. So he's about 10 feet away. Jump set, gets the ball there quickly. Nice play by the Koreans. Here it is. That's the jump set. You see his arm extended. Nice play. Good set.
Add Yoon to serve. They feel he's going to be a star down the road, a very young player. Allen off of Shin. And a kill for Allen and side out to the U.S.
Well, we asked the coach who he thought would be their big stars, 92 and after. He named right away number 10 Ha and number 11 Yoon. So we have to watch those players. They're young, but they're mighty strong.
And Kong's been impressive, coming off the bench in the first match and playing for the injured Jay here tonight. Early's made a couple kills, and that has to concern Fred Sturm. They haven't seen much of Kong, and he has been effective for Korea as Ma serves for Korea. Down 2-1 to the U.S. in game 1. Ivy chisels it through the block.
Now, I talked about the Koreans using the middle. The Americans have to do the same thing. They must use the middle. Here we see it. Good set by Gaspar to Ivy. They have to set the middle. Go to their middle attackers, Arnold and Ivy.
Bad pass, but able to turn it around nicely. Number 10, Ha. Koreans passing there broke down a little bit, but they were very fortunate as Ha, with a strong hit, bailed them out. Fortune led the Americans in the first match against Korea with 21 kills. It's 2-1 U.S. There's Lee. Feels his team is making progress. Of course, they have not yet qualified for the '92 Olympics. They have to win the Asian game. A little cat and mouse game. Here's a chance. Gaspar can't put it away. Kong goes up. And we call that a wall ball because he hit it far enough it could hit an outside wall. And the Americans build a 3-1 advantage.
Here it is. The ball goes up. Tip play. They were out of rotation. No hitter in the back. He's a back row player. Not ready to play. He just gives a free ball to the Americans. They make good of it.
Ivy serving at 3-1. Oh, that quick set. And the Americans able to dig Kong. They go back to Kong. And once again, the U.S. with ball control. Scott Fortune on the approach and the attack and the kill. And the Americans build to 4-1 in game 1. And we have a Korean timeout. Americans are playing much better, thank you, against this Korean lot. The United States leading in game 1, 4-1. The World League in service aces, and he puts it in play, and he hits it out. There's a service error against Ivy, 2-time Collegiate Player of the Year at USC. But it just ticked the net, so Americans dodge an early bullet.
Well, the toss is really everything in that jump serve. Tossed a little bit low. He came through and just tipped the net.
4-1 U.S. Ma setting Yoon. It's off the block. Another nice dig by Brian Ivy. Fortune off the block. And the Americans lead 5-1. Fortune with 4 kills. Americans a very composed team. They're playing very good defense, and They're translating defense to offense quickly.
Mishandled ball. The ball was set a little too close. Pass too close to net. Setter Shin tried to save it. Mishandled ball. Point USA.
6-1. Nak-Gil Ma. Fortune goes after. What a great play by Fortune. Absolutely amazing play by Fortune. Arnold couldn't turn around and spike it, but nevertheless, Fortune was unbelievable to get to the ball.
Great defensive play, runs it down. Scott Fortune looking to come right at us. He runs that ball down. One arm, gets it up. That's the way you teach it. One arm all the way. Then Arnold whiffs at the ball.
Allen, the middle attack. The A-bomb has his third kill. Brian Ivy, that tough floating serve. Nak-Gil Ma wound up and hit it too hard. Point U.S. 7-1.
Shin trying to find the smaller blocker Gaspar. He found him, but the hitter went over the small block out of bounds.
And Ma with 3 hitting errors that have turned into American points. Haas block. Dan Hannon and Scott Fortune. And the Americans look very strong in Irvine, California.
Here it is. The block sets up. Fortune comes around behind. They stuff it straight down for the point.
Well, 2 went up, and it adds another point for the U.S. And Jin and Jay come in. Jin is number 19, Jay number 12, and Kong and Shin go out. Now, Jin was one of the reasons Korea defeated the United States in the first match. He really came in there and set the team well.
I'm surprised they bring Jay in. They said they only wouldn't play him if he didn't feel good warming up. You let him sit for a while, his ankle has to stiffen up or his foot, so we'll see how he is.
Allen just got it through the block. And it's 9-1. So the Americans are well on their way in game 1. And once again, Brian Ivy to put it in play. Jin sets. And a block. Ha went up and Hannon just roofed him to death.
This is what the U.S. has to do. They have to set the block. When it's close, get up and stuff it straight down. Ball comes along the net. The blockers get over from behind. They stuff it. That's the key. Watch the arms get over the net. That's the key. Block for points.
I'm impressed with Dan Hannon. He is just a very talented player. He's given the Americans a 10-1 lead, and now an ace from Ivy.
Well, good things happen when a player's on the floor, Randy. You want to get him on the floor. So far, every time Dan Hannon's come on the floor, good things have happened.
Kirk, what about Brian Ivy's floater is so difficult for teams to handle?
He's got a great jump serve, so it's a tough decision for him. But he's been struggling with his jump serve. He goes way deep on that floater, has more distance for it to break. Right now, that's the best serve for him.
Now, Jay is the tallest player on the team from Korea. He is 6'10", only 21 years of age, but he's been hobbled by a bad foot. Fortune, the left-handed tip. And it's side out U.S.
Side out USA. The server is Dan Hannon.
11-1 U.S. dominating game 1. Side out for Korea and Yoon. This is the tallest team, of course, on the floor for Korea, with both Jin and Yoon on at the same time, and Jay. They have a lot of tall players. Jin, the setter, is 6'4". Fortune tips, dug nicely by Ha. Jin just bumps it over the net. Here's an opportunity again for the U.S. as they set Fortune, and he hits it poorly.
Well, that was a bad play all the way around by the USA. They don't cover the play. Easy play coming over the net. Nobody jumps in, takes control, so Allen has to set it. That's the problem. You don't want your outside hitters setting. That's what your setter's there for.
When Fortune went up, he noticed that there were 3 Koreans going up for the block, and he tried to change that shot. Gaspar with the dump.
Gaspar is doing a better job of picking when to dump. You don't always do it when the ball is right on top of the net, but he has to make himself a hitter.
Gaspar was the Americans' team MVP in 1990. Mark Arnold, Mr. Consistency at the net. It's 12-2 U.S. We have a timeout on the floor, and all around the Americans look very fluid tonight.
Well, they look better. They're blocking for some points, which they have to do, Randy. And right now, their side-out game is right on. They're passing the ball well, which gives Gaspar his options.
Let's listen to the American huddle.
looks like he's actually got all the
including Full Day program T-shirts, USA volleyball
transition situations, how he's going to play the first ball.
All purchases
Let's not let him take that first ball. Brian, somebody, let's call him out. First team event, let Javi take any first balls.
I know. I thought you were going to pass it, so I started pulling off to get approached.
Okay, we just need, you know, we need to do is get a okay.
Talking about the play I was talking about where nobody really aggressively took that free ball. Javier had to pass it, and Allen had to set it. That was a free ball. Ivy, Allen, they have to be aggressive, take the ball so Gaspar can't pass it. He's out there to set the hitters. That's what he has to do.
Dan Hannon, 4 kills, a couple blocks. He's been an ignition key off the bench, and now he's got his starting role, and he's performed well in the limelight. Scott Fortune, the American captain, to put it back in play. The Americans have a big lead at 12-2. Nak-Gil, Hannon able to dig it. In the back row, he just tipped it over. With some heavy heat.
Good communication by the Koreans. They find out where Gaspar is. That's Shin. He goes back. There's Gaspar one-on-one. Good play. They're going to win that time and time again if they can find Gaspar.
And Allen's shot is long. Americans want a touch.
Lineman called it, but the official is going to say no. Vladimir Kovalik's not buying a touch called by the lineman. But that's why they were out there, Randy.
Well, the officials say we're out here to overrule them. There's the joust, and Yoon came over the net.
That joust at the net, players go up. They push. A small player very often will win that because he's the last one to touch the ball. The big guy touches it, small guy touches it for the play.
Arnold and Allen go up and flap Ma. Ma tries it again and goes cross court.
Good set to the outside. It's a quick set. They go up right by the blockers. Hannon, a little bit out of position. He wants to line up outside the blocker's arm.
Mark Arnold, in the first match against Korea, he had 10 attempts and had 9 kills, 90% average. That's his first kill tonight. U.S. leading 12-3. Mark Arnold's gotten better and better the last few years for the United States. Hahn with the left-hand attack. Hannon with the off speed, and it's down.
A little bit off timing, but a nice play by Dan Hannon. Gaspar jump sets on the way down. He sets that ball, but Hannon reaches. A nice play. In Lee, the coach. Randy, I played against In Lee in 1970. When I was with the U.S. team, he was with the Korean national team.
What kind of player was it?
Good player all around, hit very well.
Speaking of good players and all-around players, Eric Sato in for the United States. And serving. Hahn goes up, and the Americans control it off the block. Gaspar setting, Hannon. And the United States on all cylinders. They now will be trying to win the game.
Well, what I like here is Ivy blocking middle. He's very comfortable there. He goes up. Transition play to Hannon. He puts it away.
Game point, 14-3 American. Sato with that tough jump serve at high. Here's a chance for the U.S. to win game 1. And it's Hannon. And it's a rout in game 1 for the U.S. sprinting away to a 15-3 victory, sending a message to Korea. The Americans have not looked better at any time. They dominate Korea, winning easily in game 1.